All right, I got chicks coming in next week, so I'm preparing their brooder, which is one of these pop opens. I've got the cheaper ones also. I like this one. It's a lot thicker, a lot heavier. I do not use the top because it makes it really dark in there and they're not going to get out. And I have chicken wire that I have bent to fit over this as the top for it if it gets to a point that I need it. So I take some plastic and I set this on top of it and draw around it and cut out the shape of this with a little bit of a lip up there. And I do that because it makes it easier just to grab those sides and bag it up together and haul it out to the to a garbage bag and out to the trash for when I clean up after them. So once I get the plastic in, then I'll start with the shavings. All right, I got the shavings in there, and I don't have it real thick because I'm going to put a doggy pee pad over that just to give them some comfort. Okay, I got the pad in there, and one of the reasons I do it is, you know, when you first get the chicks, they normally stay in one place. And instead of having to clean the shavings and have the poopy in there and them laying in it, this makes it easier for me just to change the pad out twice a day. So through the, you know, when I get them up in the morning and get them up fresh pee pad down, or doggy pad, whatever you want to call it. And then at night before they go to bed, that way I can keep the poo-poo cleaned up a little bit better instead of having to change the shavings so often. So that's one reason I do that. And then as they get a little bigger, I'll eventually get rid of the pad and then they'll just be on the shavings. But to start off for the first, you know, couple weeks or whatever, I just do it this way. Okay, just about got this done. And being it's just below freezing, I have, they're going to be in my bedroom for a while. Until we get through the stormy parts and they get just a little bit bigger, and then they'll go out to the garage, which is connected to the house. But for now, just starting off the first week or two, I'm going to leave them in here. So that's a little night light. I don't want them in the pitch black dark, but I don't want to be awake either. So I turn that little lantern on, which is battery operated, and I put it down there so they can eat and drink through the night if they want. Normally they stay pretty quiet. They don't really bother me. Then I've got their little pan. I give them feed that's easy for them to get in and a little lid there. Instead of, you know, putting it in one of those where we have to put their heads in there, they just get to this better. I do grind up my chick feed a little bit more so because it's not ground up enough at first. And then I will give them some wet feed, you know, every day. So a little bit of that. But so I'm ready here. And I've got my bigger heat plate in the Chicksville shed. So I may or may not bring that in here. I forget how many chicks I got coming, 20, I think. So I may swap that out on the bigger one that's in the Chicksville shed because I got different sizes of these. I got like 3 different sizes, which works out in case I need to separate any. And then what I do, you know, like when I need to clean up this, you know, really good and get everything cleaned out, I have one of the cheaper pop opens that I just stick them in for about, you know, 10 minutes while I clean this one out. I grab the edges, take everything out, wash everything, grab the edges of the plastic, take the shavings out if I need to, depending on how much more they start running around or whatever in here, you know, and how much feed they kick out. But it just makes it a lot easier to clean, and I get them back in here. So they'll be in here for a couple weeks at least. And then they'll go into a bigger brooder, which these are kind of made for doggies to take them somewhere. But I've got a longer one out in the garage that they'll go in after they're in here for a couple weeks and then go out to the garage for a few weeks. And then by then they'll go out to the Chicksville shed as they get older. And then, you know, rotating on into the chicken run kennel where I rehome them from. So I'm all set up and ready. I do it early just in case I think of something else or I need to change something. And that's one of the other cheaper brooder pop open things that I have, which what I will put them in for about 10 minutes while I clean out their other brooder. And then they'll go back in this once I have this cleaned out. And I just take it out, you know, once I get everything out of it, I take the brooder outside, dump it upside down in case there's any loose shavings or anything, hose it down around the sides if I need to. I mean, it just depends. Usually it's when they get older, you know, a little bit older before I have to like hose it down, because that's one reason why I keep the lips up there in case they poo-poo on the edges there. But that's how I get set up.